Hey guys, what's up? Fan here, and I wanted to make a quick video. Today we beat the world record for the Escape from Braxis in terms of speedrunning it. We streamed the whole thing, the Tempo Storm team, and turned out to be a lot of fun. And I wanted to just kind of briefly talk about how we did it so other people can try to match and beat our time if they want to. I think this brawl was really cool. It's a cool idea, and hopefully in the future Blizzard expands upon it. Maybe have a leaderboard and give some rewards to the top placing teams or players. It could be a really fun alternative mode in the future. So props to Blizzard for making this as well, and hopefully they expand on it in the future. So real fast here, I'm just gonna talk about the base talents. So for everyone, you see basically either maximum amount of PvE damage or maximum amount of single target damage. So what I mean by PvE damage is amateur opponent and monster hunter abilities like these work on pretty much everything in this map. So basically this makes your W do 150% bonus damage period, and same for this one. Things like these are very valuable in this brawl. All other than that, you see Greymane has Wise and Duelist. Every hero in the PvE counts as one stack, so it's very valuable there. When I talk about single target damage, is stuff like Curse Bullet affecting pretty much everything, and there's a cap for percent HP on some bosses, but it still does a ton of damage. So yeah, other than that, the only things you should know are the suppression pulse plus the hunt combination, and I'll explain that in a second here. So at the very start, you can see basically what we do is we bloodlust to gain a few seconds of movement speed, and there's this alcove over here. This is your first item. You have to kill the hydras over here before the marines die, and the marines will give you an item. If the marines die, they will not drop that item, so that's the first important part. You see us bloodlusting to gain the few seconds of movement speed there. So here is the alcove. The second thing is the Illidan. Now I'm not exactly sure what the optimal hunt orientation is. You can pretty much hunt any of these Zerg, but you have to figure out, which one is in your hunt range and which one is the best to do. So for the first stage, we did the hunt slash, blind combination right here, basically on the furthest edge of these hydras. So you can see the blind going to our vision. You actually don't have vision of the Zerg, so the blind gets you vision of the Zerg, which allows the Illidan to skip a lot of the map here. He just hunts straight there. He can run to the beacon, and using that trick will save you pretty much, it'll save you a lot of time, and it's pretty mandatory if you want to get a world record kind of run, I would say. Here you can see one person is clearing the alcove. The marines will give you the item. One more thing about the talents is that the Vala does get the attack speed at level 4, and every attack on these bolded target heroes like Ultralisk, Primal Diablo, you see the bold type print, they all count as heroes, so you can stack that as well. And you want to have your Vala get finished with stacking the Creed of the Hunter before the boss phase or early during the boss phase if possible. Another thing to touch upon is the items. When we were doing this, we always gave a healing item to Illidan because in the second stage he has to run all the way to the beacon, which is very hard to do without the healing item. Because of how many Zergs there are. Other than that, you want nukes and stimpaks. Those are the best two items to have in the final stage to maximize DPS on boss. Alright, so stage 2, this is stage 2. So what we found here is that this Abathur always spawns on either this side or this side. So what we ended up doing was like 3 people would go on this side and then I would go on this side, and we would try and kill the Abathur. If you don't kill the Abathur, he starts hatting stuff all over the stage and it makes it really hard to progress. So try to kill him there. Other than that, we do, once again, I'll show you guys the the hunt skip here. So basically, you can see we're using the hunt plus blind combination to gain vision of Zerg, bypassing walls with that trick, and then significantly reducing the time it takes to reach the beacon, because the timer only starts once you reach this beacon. So the whole strategy is you want to reach the beacon instantly, and then as the timer is counting down, that's when you spend the rest of the time clearing up the Zerg. So you can see Illidan gets all the way over there. Rest of us are making our way towards the Illidan as fast as possible. Now, sometimes the Illidan can actually get back alive from what we found, and obviously there's other hero combinations you can do and other talents you can try. We only played this for like 4 hours a single day, so I'm sure there's better combinations out there if you want to keep experimenting, but this is just the combination that we found that works. Sometimes the Illidan can make it back alive, and that definitely helps, but it's not necessary. Usually after he reaches the beacon, he dies, and you can still pass the rest of the level with 4 people without much of a problem. So now during the stage, you want to avoid stuff like the Maw. It'll slow you down for a few seconds, and also whenever you get these Psi emitters, feel free to drop them to clear clumps of Zerg like that. It's pretty efficient. Remember, the only items that really help you during the final boss stage are nukes and stim packs, so those are the items that you want. Also, the reinforcements are pretty good as well if you can keep them alive until the final stage. So here you can see we're just clearing all the Zerg. We're trying to do it before the timer ends here. And as soon as the timer ends, if the Zerg are all dead, then the gate instantly opens, and that's how you can skip a lot of time there. I mean, you can also do this if you just want fast, efficient EXP. This brawl gives you a lot of experience for how long it takes to complete. So if you want to try speedrunning it a little bit, it's even more efficient in terms of experience. Alright, so in terms of the final boss, what we did was, usually, depending on how many stim packs we did, we used one at the very start, and then we would use one whenever the Nidus is spawned. So if we have 4, we would use one here. Since we only had 3, we were saving one. For the nukes, the nuke does about 8,000 damage each, so it's actually more efficient to nuke 2 of the Niduses versus the boss, because for this it does 16,000 versus 8,000. I don't think it does that much more damage on the center. I'm not certain, but I think it does the same damage across the whole nuke. So yeah, for nukes you generally want to use it on the Nidus. If you have reinforcements, they actually kill the Niduses very quickly as well. However, they will die pretty much in one shot to any boss AoE, so you want to be careful of that. And for our composition here, we had a Rhaegar for the Bloodlust. You can see we're using our last stim pack in the final phase of the boss. And this is the final thing for the boss. So the Kerrigan combo comes out right as the boss is about to die. You want to dodge this one. So one important thing to note is, you can dodge these Kerrigan E's pretty easily, but the circle is actually really big. So if you're standing right in melee range of the boss, the circle will still hit you even if the Kerrigan E's do not. So you kind of have to sidestep outside for a fraction of a second there, right before the stun actually hits to maximize damage. So you can see most of us sidestepped outside for a second right when the stun spawns, and then just keep deepsing it. And yeah, that's how we did our world record run. I believe our time was 4:33, so I encourage you guys to try to beat it with a group of friends if that's something you're interested in doing. But outside of that, I think this was a really cool brawl. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If nothing else, it shows a lot of ingenuity can be put into these kinds of PvE mission modes, and it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun playing it. A lot of people had a lot of fun watching us stream it. So yeah, really cool mode in general. But that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.